Let's head down to our local hardware store and grab a 3-inch pipe that's 2 foot long. What I need to do is cut this in half. Easy to do since it's 2 foot long. We're just going to make a mark at the 12-inch line. I can use any type of saw, skill saw, or anything like that. I have a Sawzall, and it works great. Just cuts right through. Now, the ends of these might be a little rough from the cut. Just take a little bit of 80 grit sandpaper, rub it all the way around, and it'll smooth it right out. Now, we're going to need 3 different sizes of drill bits, large, medium, and small. Start with the small drill bit. We are going to go randomly around the pipe and drill holes. You will see from here what kind of pattern you're looking for. And that pattern is no pattern. Pattern is bad, random is good. We're just going to go all up and down drilling holes. Don't cross the halfway mark though. Once you get a good amount of holes in there, it's time we're going to switch over to the medium drill bit. Starting in the middle, with the medium drill bit, we're going to go ahead and drill out the holes a little larger. It's easier to do because we've already drilled it with the smaller drill bit. Switch to the largest and drill out a few of the small holes on the bottom. So as you can see, as we start to paint, we got small, medium, and large. Now with the paint, it covers pretty good. You want to go small little bursts. If it takes 2 or 3 coats, that's better because then you won't get too many runs with the paint. Once you get it all covered up, it's going to look really good. Make sure you get the inside too. Let's let that dry, and now I grab some little Jenga pieces from the dollar store. Go ahead and get some wood glue and put it on the bottom. Use this scrap piece of wood that I have, and I'm going to glue these down. Now, these scrap pieces of wood are a little bit longer than the pipe, and it's going to do great as a spacer. Once we get it all glued up, I'm going to take some black spray paint and paint this wood. I'm only going to go, though, with 1 coat because I want the grain of the wood to kind of come through a little bit. When it dries up, you'll see that it doesn't give it a complete coverage. My only problem, though, is the solar lights that I'm going to use. They're actually a little bit too small, but I've got a solution. Take some hot glue, and again, I got some rope from the dollar store. I'm going to go ahead and glue that on the inside of the pipe at the top. Now just keep wrapping that string all the way around, and it's going to glue in there great. That's going to be our little barrier that's going to hold our light in. As you can see, it holds firm. All we have to do is drop the light in, and look at that. It fits perfect, and it's flush with the top. Now it's time to take that board we painted, turn it around, and we're just going to put a mounting hook on the back. Just one simple one will work since it's lightweight. Now, once everything is dry, we're going to take some hot glue, put a good amount on both of those little Jenga pieces that are sticking up. We're going to take our pipe, center it, and go ahead and push it down firmly. It's going to hold up really nice. This is not going to be a problem. Now with the solar lights, you click the button and watch this. When it's dark, the light comes on, as you can see from this example. Mount the light, drop in the solar light, and it looks great just sitting on the wall. But when night comes, look at that light up. Just amazing how the light goes down the wall and it also shines through the holes. It does a great job welcoming our guests and family as they arrive at our house late at night. I love how these solar lights turned out, and I hope it inspires you to build your own DIY pipe solar lights. My wife has a cozy little spot outside that she likes to sit, and I think I can enhance the area. So I headed down to a local Dollar Tree, and the whole goal of this project is everything has to come off the shelves. So I grabbed some rope, some clear bottles, and some cool little lights that are actually have a little light bulb, but they're fairy lights. First thing I want to do is take the hook off the top of the light. We need that for later, so we're just going to set that aside. Next, we're going to take the bulb off. This is something we don't need, but be careful taking it out. We don't want to damage the light. Next, we need to take the actual light mechanism and pop it out. It's real easy to do. Just give it a push and out it comes. Again, be careful with the fairy lights. What we need to do is paint this cover. And I'm going to paint it the same color as the chairs that are outside. Remember, it's always good to give it a little bit of a light coat first. If you need to add a second, go ahead. Now on the bottle, we have a cork here. We can go ahead and just remove that. The clips come out. We don't need that anymore. So let's toss that away. Next, I grabbed off of Amazon a bottle cutter. It's only $20. It's got a little score mechanism on there. So what we're going to do is you put the bottle on the rollers and you go ahead and start turning it. It's going to score the bottle, which is give it a little line. Now, what you want to do is hear this noise. That means you're cutting right through the bottle, but it won't cut all the way through. So what it's going to do is going to show you a little cut line on there, but next, what we have to do is get some water boiling. And then right next to the water, we're going to stick some in cold water, and we need it super cold. This is how we separate the bottom of the bottle. Now, stick the bottle in the boiling water for a good 30 seconds. Once you got it in there and it's heated up, immediately go ahead and put it in the icy cold water. What happens next is amazing. It's going to separate along the score line, and look at that. Perfect. Takes off the bottom and you got a nice flat smooth line. The next thing we got to do is go ahead and put the lights back through our painted cover and clip it back on. Add a little glue if you need to, it should go right on. Now grab a mason jar, and that's going to hold our bottle upside down. What we got to do is take some E6000 glue and place it around the edge. Now I'm not going to put it all the way, just in 4 areas, because what I want to do is take some hot glue and put it in the areas I didn't put the E6000 on. That's going to hold the cover in place while the glue is drying. So once we got the hot glue on there, kind of hurriedly, we're going to stick the lights inside the bottle, set the cover on top, hold it nice and steady while the hot glue dries. Then the other glue will dry at the same time. Then we're going to take that rope, and the cool thing about this rope is it's got a little bit of a metal in that holds its shape. So stick some hot glue on the neck of the bottle, let that hold, and then we're going to start wrapping it all the way around the neck. This is going to give it a nice cool design. Go up the neck as far as you want. Once you get to the end, go ahead and stick some more hot glue on there. This will hold it in place, and then you can go ahead and trim the excess off once it holds in place. And then take this extra twine that you have left over, and we're going to put it through the hook on the light. Go ahead and just put it through, have a little bit of extra laying over, and kind of like we did with the neck of the bottle, we're going to just twist it right around. Give it a kind of nice, cool little look. Now it's time to go back outside. I went ahead and added a second chair, grabbed a stump for a side table, grabbed some of her favorite homemade lemonade, and started hanging the lights. I made 3 of these and we put them up, and what I did was light number 1, light number 2, and light number 3. And it made a perfect summer afternoon. Go ahead and pour you guys some lemonade. It was a great and wonderful night, and a high five from the puppy proved that I did a good job. I scored some points on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. I sure did. And we can't wait to see you again on Hometalk.
Go to the dollar store and get 8 of these mini trays. You're also going to need 4 of these little mini crates and start painting these. Glue one of these sides that has one of the holes, glue it to the back end of one of these pieces, and now we're going to go and create a U shape, and we're going to go and press this together. Construct the next one, glue everything together, wait for that to dry. After those are connected, put some glue onto the top, and now we're going to go and put these little tiny mini crates that have the slats on the sides and let everything dry. And now we can go and put this into our kitchen and figure out where we're going to put everything. And this is what it looks like, and this is going to save you some space in your kitchen.
So we're going to start with 12 of these really cute little crates from Dollar Tree. First, going to glue them together. So we are going to be using some wood stain. We are going to stain this as well. So we're going to put this into a formation. And what we're going to do is we're going to flip it over, and we are going to put it on the center of our Lazy Susan. So we're going to go ahead and load this up. And here's the finished product. I'm really loving this DIY Dollar Tree craft room organizer. To start this project, we're going to need 3 of these cute little craft storage bins. I'm going to use a pencil, and we're going to line it up, let that bond for a second. So we're going to secure the other side with the glue, and then we're going to go back in with our staple gun to make sure it's reinforced. So now that that's been reinforced, we're essentially going to do the same thing with another one. We're going to do the same thing for the third one. It's just going to sit up a little bit higher. All right, so now that this has been secured, what we're going to do is we're going to use some stain. And here's the finished product. I'm so happy with how it turned out. It works as perfect additional counter space.
We're gonna start with a baking pan and we're gonna fill it with a bunch of marbles. I need to remove the back off the glue dots and then peel off the backing. And I'm gonna place it onto the bottom of the baking sheet. I'm gonna flip them back over. As you can see here, this swivels really nicely. I'm gonna take a cooling rack. I'm gonna bend up either side. Now I'm gonna tip those cooling racks up and I'm going to tie the top of the cooling racks together as well as the bottom. I'm gonna place the glue dots onto the baking sheet. Take those cooling racks and I'm gonna stick them onto the glue dots. And I'm gonna press firmly to make sure they adhere well.
And I hope this inspires you to make your own Dollar Tree Lazy Susan.
Grab a cooling rack and some E6000 in a dollar store chalkboard. Put 4 dots of E6000 glue on the back of the chalkboard, press down, and let dry. Hang with command hooks on the wall. Add S-hooks. This is a great place to store your keys for easy access. Then write notes to yourself on the chalkboard. Grab a cooling rack and clip on some dollar store clips and pencil holders. From here, you can fill the insides with makeup brushes, office supplies, anything that you need. It's super cute and super easy. I picked up a dollar store cooling rack and a dollar store bin. I placed the cooling rack inside the bin, and from there I was able to organize the Tupperware lids perfectly. Grab a cooling rack and some pliers to bend the cooling rack into a U shape. Be gentle as you do this, as the bars of the cooling rack might break if you aren't careful. Now the spice shelf is no more, and it's so much easier to get to everything. You can also hang a cooling rack sideways with command hooks and put in scarves, jewelry, kitchen utensils, sunglasses. The possibilities are seriously endless.
Check out what I found at the dollar store that's going to completely upgrade my builder grade blinds. To get the burlap ready to use, I want to finish the edges. And I'm going to use my low temp glue gun and then fold the burlap over. I want to make a pocket for the curtain rod to go through. I'm going to fold over the top edge about 2 or 2.5 inches. I'm going to do this to the entire length of the burlap until I get to the other end. I'm going to remove the end of the rod and then just slip the rod right through that gap that I created at the top of the burlap. I'm going to measure out 2 pieces of twine, scrunch them up, and tie the twine. How pretty are these faux burlap blinds?
We're going to start with a roll of window film. I'm going to cut a sheet of film just a little bit larger than the size of my glass. Now, using a pencil, I'm just going to sketch a design, and I'm just going to slowly cut out each piece. So spray your window with water and then grab that first cut out piece and then gently place it onto the window, using that squeegee each time and just pressing down really well. Just cut off these edges here. You want to make sure to dry any excess water. I now have some privacy in this bathroom.
So we're going to start with this cellophane piece here. So I'm going to make the line here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. Just put a clear dot, or you could run a clear line. And next I'm going to go ahead and place the cellophane onto the glue and glass. So I'll go ahead and continue putting the glue and the cellophane up on all the windows. Here it is, all finished, and I couldn't be more thrilled with how it turned out.
I picked these flower pots up at the dollar store, and I just want to put a couple of drain holes when I put the plants in will drain out. I'm going to use some of this beautiful blue paint here just to paint up these tins. Now that the paint is dry, and I'm just going to lightly sand this to bring out that pattern. So I'm going to use a water-based top coat here. I want to make sure I cover all the surfaces. So I want to place this about where I want it on the window frame, and then I'm just going to use the same marker to just draw a little black dot so I can drill my pilot holes. So I've just got some dirt here, adding some beautiful summer flowers to my pot. I absolutely love how beautiful this old window looks with some window boxes filled with flowers.
I picked up this one-step tie-dye kit from my local Walmart, so I rigged up this setup here with just 2 ladders and a piece of wood, and then I laid my polyester curtain over top. Then I began to place some ice blocks on top of the wood and the curtain. Then I began to dump out my powdered dye over top of the ice, making sure that all the ice was covered. Now the easy part is just to sit back and let the sun melt the ice and see what kind of colored patterns come out. Once the ice is completely melted, you just take your curtain off your piece of wood and then just place it in the dryer, and I think they turned out really well.
So what we're going to start with here tonight is a piece of foam board. So I am going to measure out 8 inches, and then I am going to cut out a strip. You can just kind of bend this, cut another strip of foam board the same length. And I'm going to cut 4 of these 3-inch pieces. We're going to put a little hot glue on the edge and attach it to the side here. So put a little hot glue on there and push it in there to hold it square. So again, a little bit of hot glue on the edges. So this is gonna help us just hold that batting in place while we get everything else on. Spray it on the edges a little bit here and bring it up. So I chose a pretty neutral gray fabric. So we're just gonna put a little hot glue along the edges, attaching the fabric to the foam board. These are actually picture hanging strips, and we're just gonna put it in place. And that's all there is to it.
I went to the store and grabbed some hula hoops along with black matte spray paint. I took the hoops out to my garden and decided to attach them to my house using small poultry staples. I then slipped a piece of pipe cleaner through the hole and attached the hoop, twisting the ends together. I used black electrical tape to join the hoops together. To attach the plant, I carefully moved each stem, bundling some together and following the curve of the hoop. I love the look of my new trellis, and it was so easy to make. And as the plant grows, I can simply add additional hoops.
I picked up 3 of these styrofoam balls when I was at the dollar store, and I'm gonna put one of these sticks in each of the balls. And there we go, it's as easy as that. So I wanna go ahead and paint each of these balls. And I'm gonna cover this in glue first. I've got a whole bunch of different colors of glitter here that I just picked up at the dollar store. Just lightly smush it in there. So I'm going to take that glued side and just start rolling it. And I'm going to cover this ball with these beautiful glass rocks. Give them a little spray with a clear top coat.
These garden gazing balls were so easy to make with just a few supplies from the dollar store. They were quick and they add such a beautiful touch to the garden.
grab this trash can, take the top off. Now I'm gonna use a really strong adhesive. I'm gonna put it all over the back of the stair tread and then wrap it around the trash can. I wanna make this look a little bit antique, so I am using a silver rub and buff. And I'm gonna put a little on the bottom of the can too. I'm gonna put some drainage holes in this and place it in the top of the trash can. And now I can fill the top with soil and plants. This is an inexpensive way to use an old trash can.
I knew I could make this into something fun for my backyard. I spray painted it using this bright aqua color. Once the hook was screwed into the wall, I just placed the tire on it. Then I added some soil and some colorful flowers. This was a really easy DIY and one that you can do with an old tire.
You're going to grab some of these dowels just with a little bit of hot glue. I can put a little dab at the top, a little dab at the bottom, and go ahead and stick my doweling right into it here. I can go ahead and put the rest of my dowels right around my can and just give the dowels a light sanding. And when your surface is all clean, we're going to go ahead and paint this. So I'm going to use some river rocks and just place a few of these in the bottom of the paint can. Have a beautiful plant here that's going to hang down over the sides of my planter. I'm really loving the height of this new little planter.
These 4 frames that I picked up at my local Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and take all the frames apart. I just have the burnt umber color by Folk Art, and I spritzed it with water, so I'm kind of making my own custom glaze, and I'm going to blot it. And so I have some white chalk paint that I'm just lightly dusting. These are some cute little caps, and I'm going to kind of stain them. And we're going to glue these wooden cap feet on. Get all those frames put back together. It's just fun, the little interchangeable front if you wanted to do that. If not, you could just leave it plain.
So I have some artificial tulips, expose a little bit of the wire underneath the plastic at the bottom here. Expose wire and pop it right through the middle. I'm just taking a regular lunch bag, and cut off the bottom, a little bit of Mod Podge, and put it on the outside of the bulb and stick it through the middle of the lunch bag. Cover the paper bag in Mod Podge. I have a dark antiquing wax to try to give it a more realistic look. I have a wooden crate and I'm going to put some floral foam in the bottom. Then I'm just going to put the tulips right inside. I'm going to add some Spanish moss. Now I'm going to add a little bit of green moss, add some real twigs, and I'm just going to pop a few of them in around the arrangement.
I wanted to make some planters for my succulents. All I had to do was glue my bowls on top of my candlesticks using a rapid super glue that I just picked up at my local dollar store, and then I pressed them together. I came in with this accent stone spray paint, and so I just gave this one 2 solid coats of the spray paint. And I planted my succulents in them, and I am so happy with how this turned out.
I'm going to turn my foam ring over here, and I'm going to use some contact cement, and I'm going to put that all around the edge of my plate and attach it to the bottom of this ring. And I want to attach the other foam rings on top with whatever you choose to use to get some texture. You want to go ahead and you want to just put that texture all over. I'm just going to use some Fusion Mineral Paint in Raw Silk to paint your foam and the plate. My planters are ready to fill. I hope you enjoyed this project. They were so fun to put together.
So to start this project, you're going to open the umbrella up. Next, I'm going to place the umbrella upside down on the ground. Next, we need to create some drainage, and I'll be using a punch. Stab multiple holes through the umbrella. I'm also going to use dirt. For this next step, it's time to plant. So I'm going to dig a little bit of a hole, place my plant inside, and I'm going to continue doing this. And I hope this inspires you to make an umbrella planter of your own.